I was a fiend before I became a teen. I felt the microphone instead of codes and ice cream. Music working daily, so hip-hop was originated. Feeling like pieces of puzzle, complicated. Cause I grab the mic and try to say yes, yo. Try to take it and say that I'm too small. Cool, cause I don't get upset. I kick a hole in the speaker, pull a plug that I jet. I track to the lab without a mic to grab. So then I add all the rhymes I had. One after the other one, then I make another one. Another to just the opposites and accident brothers done. I did it clean like I feel for nicotine, but I don't need a cigarette. Know what I mean? Know what I mean? Raging, ripping up the stage and don't it sound amazing? Cause every rhyme is made in thought, cause it's sort of an addiction. Magnetized, mixing, focus, vocabulary, your verses are stuck in. The mic is a Drano, volcanoes erupted, rhymes overflowing, gradually growing. Everything is written in the code so we can go inside. My thoughts are God. 48 tracks to slide, invisible microphone being moved around by spread the word. Cause I'm N-E-F-F-E-C-T, a smooth operator operating correctly. But back to the problem, I gotta have it. You can't solve it. Still ain't have it. The prescription is a hype.
One thing that I love about hip hop is real creativity. Somebody that can rap about rapping. Somebody that can rap about anything besides killing somebody. Because I'm gonna tell you something, if you killed that many people that you said you killed on that ride, you would have been where I was at. And that was in the penitentiary. I did 5 years in the penitentiary and I saw a lot of killers. And they all had one thing in common. They wanted to go home, but they couldn't. I got a buddy that I bidded with named Lee A. Smith. Well, Mr. Smith, you can look him up on Illinois Department of Corrections so you know what I tell you to be truth. Lee A. gave his brother 1,000 years. How you get somebody 1,000 years? 1,000? That means if he died and the Lord bring him back to life, guess what? He's going right back to the penitentiary. And if he die again after, say, 50 or 100 years, and the Lord bless him and say, we're going to raise you from the dead, Mr. Smith. He's going back to the joint again because he's got to finish his time. So, what you saying, Coach? This is what I'm saying. You can do time, but time can't do you. I learned something when I sat in that prison cell. I learned that the most important thing to me was love. Because when I sat in that prison cell, I kind of felt like maybe I didn't love myself. Maybe I didn't love my family like I should. Maybe I didn't love my friends like I should. So I made a decision when I was in that cell that when the Lord blessed me to get out, and I did have an out day, praise the Lord, because I know some people don't have no out days. Like Killer Cameron, who killed somebody over here on right behind McDonald's on Lynn Street. They gave that boy 70 years. I used to talk to him. Like Sterling Johnson, who they gave 14 years for obstructing justice. Who gets 14 years for obstructing justice, brother? I never saw nobody get 14 years for obstructing justice. But they wanted Sterling, and they got it. Like Payson Long, who got 50 years for murdering the Taft. Like Brandon Crabb, who got 50 years for a murder right around the corner over here on Wisconsin. Marcus Fleming got 20 years, 27 years for aggravated assault. He shot somebody, so 27 years. There's a lot of men I can go on and on and on. I tell principals all the time, the killers of tomorrow are in your classroom today. Can they have a little love? Teachers aid, can they have a little love? President, can they have a little love? Maybe it'll make a difference. So you never really know if you stop somebody from killing someone unless you physically go and stop. But just those words of encouragement, those words of letting you know, let that young man know that I love you, brother. Matter of fact, you know my car. Call me if you need me. Then when they call, you gotta answer the phone now. you gotta listen. Because we do a whole lot of talking sometimes to our kids and we don't do enough listening. And when I say listen, I mean even listen when they're wrong. This boy that says some crazy stuff to me, but you know what? I'm gonna keep on listening. I'm not even gonna cut him off. Go keep talking crazy. Because when he get through talking crazy, guess what? He tired and he ready to listen. Then I can pour something into him. I can tell him my story and my mistakes. Because I don't want him to make them mistakes. So I'm not here just to do a hip hop show. I'm here to tell you that I love you. I'm here to tell you that I don't want to see you sit in penitentiary walls. I want to see you walk in college halls. And we can do it. But we got to use certain vices to get them to listen to us. And hip hop is one of those vices. They love hip hop. But see, I know what real hip hop is because it didn't start as hip hop. See, they just commercialized it and used that phrase hip hop because they wanted to sell to suburban. What it really was rap. And why was it rap? It was rap because the Cool Brothers could rhyme. They could rap on the corner. And they was really rapping about what was going on in their life. They was really rapping about what they were in pain about. They were really rapping about the issues that affected their life. But then we had to have fun too, because, you know, we black people, we had to learn how to use music as a way to make us feel good. All the slaves did some singing in the fields. They did some singing, yeah, they sung sometimes just to make help themselves make it through the day. And they sung to help themselves feel good because of the situation they were in. But then they also sung to send messages so Mr. Bob and Mr. Rob didn't know what they was talking about. So don't let your history be a mystery. See, you gotta learn about black history. You learn about every other form of history. And guess what? You're gonna respect those people. You're gonna respect their grind. See, everybody, we wanna shine, right? Everybody wanna shine. We shine. We wanna shine, right? We wanna look good. We wanna have all the Jordans and all that, and that's great. But we gotta shine in here. You gotta let your heart shine. Young people, sometimes people say stuff to you and they try to make you feel bad. And that's why we started rap, so that we can make ourselves feel good. See, I'm gonna show you what I mean. Because it's important that when God gives you an ability, you take responsibility for that ability. And that means practice. That's right. You gotta practice. You gotta get in that mirror and you gotta mess up in that mirror, and then you're gonna get right in that mirror, then you'll be able to be up here. And you'll be able to do like, one day when I was chilling in Kentucky Fried Chicken, just minding my business, eating food that's finger licking. Some dude walked in, looking strange and kind of funny. Went up to the front with the menu and his money. He didn't walk straight, kind of side to side. He asked his old lady, yo, is this Kentucky Fried? The lady said, yeah, smiled, and he smiled back. He gave a quarter and his order, small fried Big Mac. You be illin'. This brother in Kentucky Fried Chicken asked him for a small fry and a Big Mac. Is he illin', Grandma? He illin'. Well, one thing about it, young man, when you sit down and you write your rap, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. You hear me? You gotta do it. I'm gonna tell you why. The reason you gotta do it is because growing up is a heck of a job. The pay is good, but the work is hard. Sometimes you feel like you wanna quit, but that's when you remember this. Ain't nothing new under the sun. What you're doing now already been done. Fifth period, I did the same as you. I used to play cards in the lunchroom too. I used to cut class, hang out in the hall. Tip my hat to the side, go play in the wall. Because smoking in school was against the rules. So I did not smoke, but I still went to school. Now you get yours like I got mine. I want to see you there. Graduation times. Fight your battles. Don't ever run. Because you win some and you lose some. See, when you write that, it becomes a part of you and you got to breathe it through the microphone. And when you can breathe it through the microphone, then you become a microphone fiend. You got to get on stage. I got to have it. Hey, y'all, how y'all doing? You got to have it. You got to fiend for the microphone. But in order to become a microphone fiend, you need to get educated. Don't let these brothers trick you. See, hip-hop lies. Hip-hop will sell you a dream. Not only do they tell you they killed 12 people last week and he ain't killed nobody, they tell you they're not educated when they are. One thing a lot of brothers won't do, they'd rather tell you they're a gangbanger and a dope slinger when they really was a student. You know, Lil Wayne got a college education, right? Yeah, you know that, don't you? Yeah. But at first he was lying, talking about he was a gangbanger, and he really wasn't. And baby said, you know what, come here, boy, I'm gonna cuff you, you going to school. And he took him to school. So the first person I'm gonna bring up is a young lady that I met. And I love this young lady because she writes spoken word. Spoken word is where hip-hop started. Gil Scott Heron, the last poets. So you gotta get up on this stuff. This young lady name is SHAVONNA. She's gonna do a spoken word piece for you guys, and I want you to pay close attention to what she has to say. SHAVONNA, where you at?
The piece that I'm gonna do is called Outside of the Beginning. See, there's no way I can sympathize with the hurt that they feel inside because I've never been put in that position. So who am I? I'm just an outsider looking in from all directions, trying to learn from their progressions. And from my perception, I see no words to describe a broken heart. No words to describe a mother's pain. Hurt that she feels her daughter has been dealt the same. Cards that she once had got her mad and upset. She curses herself because she looks at her daughter's eyes, and within those eyes, she sees herself. And although a beautiful portrait, she wanted nothing more than her children to be better than herself, disappointed in herself. Hurt because she feels there's no one left to blame but herself. She lowers her head and closes her eyes, and after a quick prayer, she soon realized that inside is a God-fearing, wise, strong black woman that resides in herself. Looking back at her daughter, she knows that in due time the same qualities will be installed in her daughter's flesh. But these are only words from an outsider looking in. And looking in Big Sis' direction, and from her perception, she feels as though she fell as Little Sis' protection. And she wishes there's something she could have did, or maybe there's something she shouldn't have did. What if there's something she could have said to let Little Sis know that baby, I love you line is just a line that dudes use to get inside your head. The next sign is him convincing you. The next step is moving towards the bed, and although he said the sweetest lines, his mind is still left unread. Big Sis then lowers her head. Feels like she hasn't been practicing all that she's wanted to be preaching. And even though it wasn't her full obligation, a good example is what she was supposed to be setting. Because it was her occupation to make sure Little Sis wasn't out here dating a lame dude who would fill her head with the misrepresentation of the word love. Because now the hospital bed will soon be awaiting for Little Sis to walk in as another baby mama patient. But these are only words from outside of the beginning. Now looking in Little Sis' direction, and from her perception, it all has me thinking, this wasn't supposed to happen to me. How could this be? I guess I should have listened to them when they told me 1 + 1 can sometimes be 3, not 2. And I can't take the hurt I'm putting my mom through. My family's disappointed for ever making it right. And every step that I take, I'm moving further from the light. The immaturity in me, even a blind man can see that I'm not mentally, physically, financially capable of raising a little me. But don't pray for me. Pray for my unborn seed and what it's likely soon to see. But once again, these are only words from an outsider looking in. Now imagine how this becomes my reality. Thank you.
That's creativity right here. The two things that's most important to me is love. That's number 1 on my list. And number 2 is creativity. Because I tell kids all the time, see, smart people, they work for creative people. Oprah got a lot of smart people working for her. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, before he died, had a lot of smart people working for them. Tyler Perry got a lot of smart people. You know Tyler Perry made more money than anybody in the industry last year? He made more money than all of those white guys that's doing movies. And I want you to know that, because that's the first time that ever happened for a black man. And it's because of his creativity. See, you can remember a whole lot. You can get A's in school if you can remember. But you can get an A in life if you can be creative. This young lady is very creative. And when I first heard Kim, I never round of applause. When I first heard her do that poem, it touched me. See, this is what creativity is about. It's about touching and inspiring and motivating. See, Michael Jackson, when I was 7 years old, sitting at home on TV, sitting at home watching TV, looking at Michael, Mike inspired me. See, Mike would mess up sometimes, and a lot of people didn't know it. He said, ee. You can't remember the next lyric. Ooh. Mike didn't know what he was saying because he forgot the lyric. Mike thinks, ah, and throw that leg out there, make you think he's just doing it. Mike can't remember what was coming next. You know how I know? Because I did it. When I was performing in Chicago many years ago. But when I met this young lady, and I heard that she touched my heart, and I said, you know what, anything that I can do to help to motivate and inspire her to keep on creatively writing, and then go to college. She don't just keep writing. I know a lot of rappers in Peoria, they go into the studio. You mean you going over Ed's house? Ed got a studio set up in the basement. That's not a studio, dog. If I take you to a real studio, it's at least $250,000 or more. Okay? A couple of turntables and a speaker and a computer is not a studio. You need to get to Columbia College and places like that so you can see a real studio. You need to be in a creative writing course. Because if you can write that good and you get a teacher who teaches you some stuff, you're going to be even greater than that. And that's what we got to do. We got to use hip-hop to motivate and inspire our kids to go to college. And I believe that we can do that. Okay, give Shavonne another round of applause. It's important that we teach our young people right, because they see so much wrong. You know, and especially important, I was at the Mike Epps show, and one thing that Mike Epps said that, anybody else was there at the Mike Epps show? My son was with me, yeah. Mike Epps said at the end of his show that it's important that black men that used to be gangsters reach out to the young black men that's gangsters now and let them know what will happen if you keep being gangster. Because I tell people all the time, gangster ain't gangster, gangster is violence. So if you tell me you're a gangster, you're basically telling me that you're violent and that you'll kill me if you can, or anybody in my family or any of my friends. That's basically what you tell me if you tell me you're a gangster. Because that's what gangsters do. Gangsters kill people. And I want kids to know you don't want to be gangster. What you want to be a wankster like 50 said before you be a gangster. At least wanksters don't go to jail. Wanksters can go to college and get educated and have money. Okay, it's better than being a gangster and go to the penitentiary or to the graveyard, because that's where gangsters go. I want all y'all to know, gangsters go to penitentiary and the graveyard. How many of y'all want to go to college? That's right. Everybody should want to go to college. How many of y'all want to get paid to be able to shine with legal money? That's right. You'll be able to shine. College. Okay? You'll be able to get your hair done when you want to get your hair done. You'll be able to go buy some Jordans when you want to buy some Jordans. You'll be able to walk like you want to walk. You know why? Because don't nobody have to give you nothing. You pay for your own stuff. You can walk any way you want to walk. Any way you want to walk, if you can pay for your own stuff. You can go back to Mickey D's when you want to. You can go in Popeyes. I love Popeyes, y'all. You go to Popeyes and kick it and buy what you want. You go to the mall anytime you want to with your debit card. Get your wallet out, have your debit card. Say, I'm not just going to use cash today. I think I'm going to use my debit card. That's on my MasterCard. You see what I'm saying? Coach Ron got a MasterCard now, y'all. That's what I'm talking about. See, I don't have to gang bang or dope slang or none of that stuff. See, and I got a MasterCard. Y'all know some of them gang bangers and dope dealers. Ask them, do they got a MasterCard? I bet you they don't.
Thank you.